Joining us now is Lynnette Wukie. I think I pronounced that correct. Yes, Lynnette
Yes,
Wukie.
correct. That was
All right,
great.
awesome. She is the first ever Notre Dame female leprechaun. So thank you for coming on and joining us today, Lynnette.
It's an honor, honestly.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited.
So can you just talk a little bit, obviously, to start off, like just how amazing it feels and just how like obviously it's a milestone and it's like a once in a generation thing, like to be the first woman to ever be the leprechaun at Notre Dame?
Yeah, obviously it was something I was really nervous about because the tryout is a super public process and you
Okay.
can't it's not something that you can just like apply for and no one knows kind
Yeah.
of because you have to get people to come to your tryout and everything. So I was definitely nervous about that whole aspect, but once I got it and started doing it and started to see the impact, I mean, it's really humbling, but I also think it's something that's not going to hit me for another 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Like what the real impact is, but I definitely think that I mean, it's changed my life in so many ways and like I love Notre Dame obviously. So
I mean, it'd be a pretty bad look if you didn't.
Yeah, it
yeah,
really
yeah,
would
yeah,
be.
I'd be a complete fraud.
I mean, so to go along with that and like not understanding how it impacted, like how insane is it to have a Good Morning America feature about you?
Oh, that's so funny. It was pretty nuts. It was wild. And I had a lot of people from like my hometown and stuff telling me, and I mean, because it was like Good Morning America, and then Sports Illustrated, ESPN, all those kind of
Yeah.
things, which is hilarious because I was always a cheerleader and a dancer, and I've had the is cheerleading and dance a sport, and now one of the only
Debate
people
settled.
I know
Yeah.
who have been in all the sports like things. So no, but
I
it
don't-
was awesome.
Yeah, I don't think you can ask that question anymore. If Sports Illustrated and like I don't know what
ESPN.
I don't know what ESPN stands for,
I
but
mean,
I'm sure the
yeah,
S is sports.
I would imagine
if they're
so.
covering it, then that
It
has to be a sport.
Yeah, it has to be.
Enough
Exactly,
said.
exactly.
So we talked about your Good Morning America appearance. We saw that they talked a lot about volleyball. Is that just your main one, or do you do more? Like, what sports do you cover pretty much as the Leprechaun?
So things are really weird with COVID, obviously. When that stuff was being filmed, I was doing mostly volleyball and soccer, and then in the spring, I was the hockey leprechaun and lacrosse. But I also now with COVID and stuff, I've done significantly less sports. I did like one volleyball game, and it's kind of been tough, but I mean, it's kind of just the way the cookie crumbles. Basketball's happening again, so I'll probably be doing a few of those games, but like there's no spectators, so it's kind of
Yeah.
hard. But
Yeah, I
I
Can't
mean,
know.
really
and I
pump
did
up a non-existent crowd.
yeah, exactly. And like I did women's basketball a little bit last year as well, so kind of a catch-all. But I mean, like you said, no crowd. It's
Yeah,
really
that's
like
gotta
you're doing it
that's gotta
yourself.
be really
The
difficult.
cutouts would get hype though.
Oh
I
yeah, they
guarantee
would.
it.
So
Exactly.
so Eric has a question, and just to preface this, we interviewed Pierce Crawford and Matt Steves a couple months ago.
Oh,
So
okay.
just like to have that. So Eric, ask away.
Yeah, so I'm just curious.
Here we go.
So obviously we had them on, and they actually chirped us like a lot. So I'm just curious. Can you confirm that they are indeed extremely average hockey players?
I don't think that I can legally comment on people's
Okay.
athletic ability. You know,
So
we're
yes.
all family here. No, I'm just kidding. No, so yes, of course, they're extremely average, below average. No, but I mean, I like love the hockey team, so I feel like if they ever saw this, I would get into major trouble as well. So I'm gonna tell you you're wrong.
Chris and Matt listen.
Yeah, they do. They're listeners.
So
Oh, well, hey guys, I think you guys are doing a great job. Don't listen to anything that these high schoolers say. Like, it's fine.
well, when we asked them about why they weren't verified on Instagram, but all their teammates were, they said that they were two very average hockey players. So
Yeah, and you have that step up on them because you're a blue check.
You are a
you're
blue check.
verified,
Yeah.
and they're not. So you have the high ground on them. You're pretty much the alpha.
yeah.
Well, yeah, and I mean, Drake said it best: "It's fame, not clout." So,
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Good drop.
So, are there any special perks that the Leprechaun gets around campus?
the blue check mark is pretty
Okay.
That's
dope.
number one.
That is number one.
No, but besides that, I mean, like we don't have a scholarship or anything. But I mean, the issued gear is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, as you can see, everything I wear is Notre Dame. So,
Yeah.
and it's not because I purchased it, but no, it's pretty dope getting all the gear and just getting a pretty much full new wardrobe. And I mean, we have a snack station, which is pretty good.
That's
but
nice. Nutrition.
Yeah.
That might be better than the blue check.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, a lot of free snacks. But I mean, obviously, also getting to go to all the games and getting to be like right there in the action is
Yeah, I
the
got
politically
you.
correct thing I should probably say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I saw you were at like the Clemson game and stuff like that. So if you're
Yeah.
not being the Leprechaun for the game, are you getting free tickets? Obviously.
As a student or
Students don't get free tickets. I did get to be in the games for free, but I also was this football season the in-game host, which basically means I was like
yeah,
the
I saw
MC.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you check out my Instagram, like I had my own
Mhm.
show at the football games, so I was like working. Like I was at the
Okay.
game,
Gotcha.
but
So
I
you
was
were a
mostly
media member.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I
Could we
mean,
get
I
media
wouldn't say I was
passes?
just in the crowd chirping it up. What?
Could
Yeah.
we get media passes?
We're gonna need some media passes next season.
So I didn't even get to do media at any of the away games, so I don't know
Oh.
how much I can really pull for you. But I definitely will try. You should ask Pierce. He'll probably.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
we'll
well,
ask Pierce.
So
Yeah.
our company email has media at the end of it. So
Uh-huh.
like
Oh,
but we're-
okay. So like, I don't know
that'll
why
have
they
some
would
big
have to
pull.
tell you
Yeah,
no.
that'll have some
Yeah.
big draw.
Yeah, has
Exactly.
to. So
Yes.
Self-proclaimed journalists.
So if there's no scholarship for being a leprechaun, like how does one become the leprechaun? Like is there a tryout? Like how does that what does that process look like?
Yeah. So basically, what it is there's an application process in the beginning, which is all written, and you send in like a resume, questionnaire, recommendations, stuff like that. And then if you get through the first round, there's a second round where it's an in-person pep rally, more or less.
Okay.
And so you have, I don't know, they narrow it down to like 5 to 10 people. And in the non-COVID world, you get as many people as you can to come to this tryout, and then they give you kind of several scenarios. So my scenario was like Brian Kelly's supposed to be hosting this pep rally, but he's late, so they throw the leprechaun on. Go ahead and make a pep rally out of that.
That's a stressful
So-
job.
That is a very stressful job.
Yes, yeah. So it's stuff they give you super stressful fake situations, and then you have to go out and then see how hype you can get this crowd. And then there's like a media round where you have to answer fake media questions because we get clearly
Yeah.
asked
by
stuff
by
media
big
all the
media
time.
companies like
Yep.
ourselves.
Yeah, huge media companies. I've never done anything this big though, so I'm a little nervous.
Oh,
Thank you.
we appreciate that.
But then there's like a community service round and a private interview with like a panel of 10 judges. So it's really extensive, and I mean, they want to make sure you really, like you said, aren't just like kind of chasing the clout or just doing it for the free gear and stuff. They want to make sure you really do love Notre Dame and would be a good ambassador. So,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you cover that.
Yeah.
oh, thanks.
So
Flattery gets you everywhere.
as a little kid, I always went to Notre Dame basketball, football games. Like I still do, but like as a kid specifically, I caught myself sometimes watching the Leprechaun more than the game at times because of the electricity that they brought. So what's the key to getting the crowd involved other than just being the coolest mascot in the country?
I would say getting the crowd involved, from what I've learned, is you can be nervous, but you have to learn how to not show it, and you have
Yep.
to be willing to embarrass yourself.
Yeah, like I've
Because
seen many
that's-
leprechauns whip and nay in like 2018.
Yeah, that was bad. That was
Exactly.
bad.
So you just kind of have to be able to embarrass yourself and be yelling all the time. And I mean, not taking away from the game necessarily, but making sure people are staying engaged, because it's really easy to, like, especially at games that have smaller followings, to feel like it's weird to try to start a Go
Yeah.
Irish or start a chant because it's not 80,000 people.
Right, like
but
Notre
it's
Dame
just-
versus Temple, like
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that.
yeah, so trying to make every game feel like it's the Notre Dame Clemson game is a big thing, and just not being bashful about it is, usually what we try
Yeah.
to do.
That
Yeah,
makes
I know
sense.
we have season basketball tickets, and like in the very beginning of the season with some of those exhibitions, the
Mhm.
Leprechaun is the only source of energy. Like
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
like Niagara Falls, for example.
yeah, some is like or like
yeah,
some random school like that. It is the only source of fan energy in there.
it's
But I commend you for stuff like that because I could not. do it.
Thank you.
yeah. Like
It's
there's not-
definitely uncomfortable. Like, I won't lie to you. It's definitely
Yeah.
weird to just be in sometimes an empty stadium and be like, let's go Irish, like
Yeah.
just by myself.
I
but-
feel you completely because this year I was like our student section like leader or whatever, And like
Yeah.
against like small time like games, like it was
Mhm.
absolutely dead, and I felt like an idiot. And most times I was.
Yeah, let me just clarify. He self-appointed himself to be the student section
No
leader.
one stepped up. No one stepped up, so I had to do it.
Oh.
But, like,
And since there was limited tickets, there was maybe 18 students at the football game. So
I
and we
did
go
my
to already
best.
a very small school.
I did my best.
It was pathetic. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say it. It was
It
pathetic.
sounds like you are lobbying me to get you to be Leprechaun right now. Like you started your own student section, saying you were
This is
watching the
pandering.
Leprechaun when you were little. Like, is there an ulterior motive I should
think
know
so.
about?
I don't think I'm legally allowed to comment on this at the time. So I know
wait,
you.
wait.
Oh, okay. You got a
So
question?
you just said like Notre Dame having the best mascot in the nation.
Uh-huh.
So like let's say it's versus Stanford football, and you are the best leprechaun or like the best mascot in the nation.
Yep.
And you're looking over at a Christmas tree. How do you even like
Yeah.
get in the zone to fight that? Like it's a Christmas tree. Left her speechless.
I mean, you just come out like every mascot, every opponent is like the ultimate opponent.
But like
and
that's pathetic.
honestly, well, it's not pathetic. You gotta give them a little bit. Gotta make them feel. It's just if you have fun with it, then it doesn't even the competitiveness of it doesn't even matter. And
Yeah.
like half the time, the mascots kind of know each other. He's a little secret. Like we kind of know each other, especially if we're all in the
Wow.
same conference. even
Game's
though
getting
we're technically
soft.
not in a conference.
Everyone's friends now.
Yeah, I know. Softest generation.
You see
But
Kevin Durant
it-
and like Steph Curry's jersey swapping after a game. You might see like
Soft.
Brutus the Buckeye on swapping
might-
a jacket after the
exactly.
game. Pathetic.
No, because we do a little smack talk, but at the same time, it's also fun to see us. I don't know, do like a dance off and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think it's finding that perfect mix is like kind of key.
Yeah, exactly. That mascot relationship reminded me. So I was watching a basketball game, and St. John's University out in New York, their Red Hawk has to flap its wings the entire game, or else their scholarship gets revoked. So is there anything like that you have to do? Like
Is that
consistently
real?
They,
Yeah,
they
it is.
actually have to keep flapping the
The-
entire game where they get their scholarship.
The
pulled.
only time they can like not is at halftime. Like timeouts, breaks,
Wow.
timeouts.
Flapping.
They gotta be
The-
ripped. Absolutely.
Yeah.
ripped.
So is there anything that you have to do that like would be frowned upon if you didn't do?
You could have just asked if is there anything you have
Yes,
to do.
but I
That was a
do
very
it, is
roundabout
the
way of
problem.
asking that.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm assuming you guys know what the jig is, the dance,
Yes.
the jig. So I have to do it like how fans do it is just like your feet kind
Yeah.
of moving.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That
have
is
to do
complicated.
it full out the whole time. Yes. With the high kicks and everything,
Yeah.
with whatever speed the band decides to go, which is never the same. And
Improv-
so it's pretty
improvisation.
frowned upon. Yes, but I mean I don't get any like thing docked from me if I stop. I've
more
definitely
snack
come
bar.
up with a few creative ways. I've definitely come up with a few creative ways to get around having to do it the whole time. But pretty much all the dances, they're like you just need to do it the whole time, and I'm like, okay, maybe we'll see.
So you're a journalism, mate.
Well, I'm FTT, so film, television, and theater.
Okay.
But I definitely do a lot of media things.
Okay. So if you're a journalist, ask us a question then.
Oh my God. Okay. Why or what compelled you to start this podcast?
Oh, that's actually a great question.
that is a very good question. So what our teacher would want us to say is we had a okay. So but what we really want to say is because we just love talking sports.
yeah.
Okay.
Like
so literally,
genuinely.
we all go to the same high school, and we kind of just would always just like talk crap at lunch all the time.
Mhm.
And we were like, we could definitely monetize this.
And-
And we're in like an entrepreneurship class, so they kind of were like supportive of all this. And then a guest speaker came in. Shout out to you, Kyle. And he has a studio he lets us use. So
Are you making money off of this?
we are.
What? That's crazy. Congratulations. That's
Thank
Thank
you.
you. So yeah, you're making us money. This episode will be sponsored.
Yep.
Oh, perfect. No, because I did broadcasting and stuff in high school, but I certainly did not get paid.
Because you didn't have an independent media company.
Mhm. Yep. You weren't a member of
Wow.
the media.
Okay, so I came on this to get chirped and told that I need to be asked.
Oh no, you're not getting chirped. We chirped Pearson Matt. If you want to hear us chirp,
Yeah, that was
go
we
listen to that interview.
We like actually were kind of rude to them. Like sometimes I lose sleep at night thinking about. Like,
I don't.
We came at them.
I
That's
don't
something
lose
that
sleep.
you cringe about.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sure that they loved it. So, well,
Oh,
because I
I'm-
feel like I do so many of these, and I have to act all like proper and.
That's
know,
actually our
like-
angle.
Mhm.
Like we are completely like if you want to make fun of us, go for it. We accept, but we're gonna chirp back at you.
Yeah,
too.
we're the most informal interview like ever.
and we're kind of a
Yeah,
mess. At all
absolutely.
times.
No, this really is one of the most. I mean, like other stuff, I have to, I don't know, dot my I's and cross my T's. But with this, I'm
Yeah,
like,
Not
not even close.
So one of your co-leprechauns is Jackson, right?
Sam Jackson,
Yeah.
he graduated, but
Oh,
yes.
gotcha. Do you ever like? Was there ever a time when you were like out in public and he found his name was like, "That's Samuel L. Jackson"?
That actually happens more than you would think,
Wow.
especially in South
Why I asked.
Good
Bend.
question.
Yeah. So especially when Sam and I have been friends like since way before we were the Leprechaun. So we always would hang out anyway, and then like as we started to go out more after we became Leprechaun, like for sure people would notice us, whether it's on campus or like at Martin's or like just out and about at a restaurant. Like we've had people. I mean, we got dinner because he's still in the area, so we got dinner in the fall, and someone like stopped. We were at Brewburger, and someone stopped and was like, "Hey, aren't you guys Leprechauns?" And they just like to talk. Sometimes they ask for a picture, stuff like that. So
I guess.
That's actually pretty cool.
Honestly, I talked about when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like I always thought like the leopard was like this like undercover like secret like no one knew who he was. Like genuinely,
Well,
like
that's
I
hard
thought
when
it
they
was
could
just like
see
the
your
most.
face.
I'm being dead serious. I didn't think anyone knew who the leprechaun was. That he like had
there
to
are
keep.
schools that do that, but like
Really?
you can't see their face because they have a head on.
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
a face.
You know,
You know?
I just it was baffling when I first found out that like wait, people know who this person is.
You
Yeah,
have a
I
weird
mean,
brain.
and it was definitely different because I mean, Sam's black and I am a woman of color, so it's like the leprechaun is usually like a white guy, so it was easier to kind of fit in and blend in, especially at Notre Dame. So that's why I think people kind of recognize us more so than some of the other guys
Yeah.
who have been our predecessors.
Yeah, exactly. And then like obviously I'm sure you're familiar with what Sarah Fuller accomplished this past season being the first woman Division
Mhm.
1 Power 5 kicker. So, do you have anything to say to young females who are aspiring to accomplish something amazing like you or Sarah?
I would definitely say that don't let anything stand in your way. There's always going to be an obstacle for whatever goals that you have, and don't let, especially being woman, stand in the way of any of the goals that you have. And I mean that goes for young men, young women, everybody. I think that there's a lot. We've kind of progressed as a society where anyone can do anything. You just have to be willing to be brave enough to try.
Yep.
And I think that that's kind of how it was for me. It wasn't that Notre Dame, it wasn't that a girl couldn't be the leprechaun. It's just they hadn't been before. And
Right.
it just took someone to be brave enough to try, and it opens a lot of doors. So,
Right. And what made you decide to do that?
I mean, like
Someone
I
didn't do his
said, I was
research. There's a lot of stuff about why she chose to do that. Someone
Well,
didn't do the
I
research.
wanted to let the listeners get a little
Yeah,
insight.
okay.
It's fine. I'm not gonna lie to you. I usually hate this question, but I like you guys, so I'll answer it.
Thank you.
I was a cheerleader in high school.
Wait.
Like,
What if I
just
answer it?
okay? Yeah. Why did I
Okay,
become leprechaun?
So there's another leprechaun. He's from Northern Ireland. His name is blanking me right now.
Oh
right?
wow,
Yeah.
you really
so
know
he's-
the story. Keep
He's from
going.
I do my research. I'm insulted by that. He's from Northern Ireland. There was like 14 hours left before the due date. He was like, "Hey, you should try leprechaun."
You're just like spontaneously like, okay.
More or less, he had talked to me a few months before that, and it was like a little thing in my head. And then I finally decided, no, I'm not going to do it because I was nervous that I wouldn't get it, and that would be really embarrassing. Because there was like articles in our like it's called The Observer, our little newspaper that goes around Notre Dame about like me trying out.
Mhm.
And so if I didn't, it would be pretty publicly humiliating if I didn't get it. But no, you're exactly right, Connell. he texted me, he's one of the other leprechauns, 14 hours before and said, there's 14 hours, you better be applying to be a leprechaun. And I love Notre Dame, and I've always loved Notre Dame since the moment I stepped on campus. I wanted a way to represent Notre Dame in a way I know how, which is being a cheerleader. So
Wait,
here
was
we
it
are.
actually 14 hours? Because I that was a complete guess.
I think
just
it was
incepted
like
her. I don't think it was 14 hours. I
18,
think I
but
just
I was
incepted her.
I think it was 18, but I was gonna
Yep.
let you have that one.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I take it back. I didn't incept you. She was just playing along with me. So thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah, so I did do my research. I just wanted the listeners to
Yeah,
know.
okay.
Speaking of leprechauns
Sure,
and
you did, big guy.
and,
Yeah.
and everything that has to come with a leprechaun, Eric has a question.
Yeah.
So wait. So we usually preview all of our questions, and we have one big document. Everything on the bottom that just says surprise question. I want to see the reaction of you guys. So if this goes terribly wrong, I'm sorry.
Okay,
well, it's okay. So
I know who to blame.
Yes.
of course, I just want to make like we here at Bootleg Sports, like we care about our interviewees, and obviously with like COVID-19 ravaging the planet and everything, like it's been a rough
Eric,
time.
slow down.
Okay, I'm sorry if he was like really fast. He's never spoken to a female before.
That's not true.
So I just
Don't worry, I get it. I was in high school once too. Girls are scary.
That's not the problem.
That is the problem, Eric. Ask your
Okay.
question
Um,
and slow down.
sure. I'll slow down. I'm just naturally fast. But anyway, it's been a rough year, and I'm sure you're having like your stress at school and like being the leprechaun. I just want to like it's a very important to ask everyone. How are you doing today?
Oh my god, he's never. This is the first female we've had on the show. He's never asked anyone else.
What?
this.
Never.
No, it's
Never.
important. No, how are you today?
Listen, how am I today? I am cold and I am busy. It's a good question. You leave Eric alone.
Exactly.
I'm cold and I'm busy but otherwise I'm good. How are you? How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
okay, Eric, ask the second question that you have.
Oh yeah, I will.
This one, yeah.
So
you'll-
obviously, you're the leprechaun and like Irish. You
Wait,
wear
really?
rings. Yeah. Well, okay. I'm just curious.
Thanks. In case they forgot.
Yeah. Are there actually pots of gold behind rainbows?
Behind.
So I've only been to the end of like one or two rainbows, and I like signed this like NDA when I became a leprechaun, so I can't
Oh,
really
allowed to disclose that.
disclose.
Wait, but there is an end to rainbows. Like they end.
I see.
I
I
don't
already
think
said
she
too
can't
much.
say that.
Actually,
She
I'm
can't
gonna
say
have
that.
to ask you guys to cut this part of the interview out.
Okay, we'll cut
Well,
it.
we actually have a history of that. So I don't know if do you follow men's basketball, like the
Well,
recruiting?
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
yeah, she does. She does.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we interviewed one recruit, and we were like, "Hey, so
Okay.
is Blake Wesley going? Who was another recruit who hadn't committed yet?" We're like, "Yeah, we'll cut the cameras and everything. Just tell us." And then we didn't cut the cameras with it. We kind of like leaked it.
Yeah, he told us. We broke it before ESPN broke it.
we did.
So what you're telling me is you're trying to get taken off the air before you're even really on the air.
Yeah.
Any publicity is good publicity.
You're
Facts.
trying to get sued, like is what I'm hearing.
He said he was 99% sure, so we are like 1% liable.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if
I'm
that math
just
checks out.
okay.
So it's 99% of his fault. We're not going to say his name. Like,
We signed an NDA.
yeah,
Actually.
we
can't say
did
his name.
sign a contract with him. We wouldn't disclose his name.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're big.
Oh,
Signing
so you
contracts
do
and
know
stuff.
a thing or two about what the legal aspect of this.
Oh yeah,
this
I'm a
podcast.
big
Okay.
law guy. Big law guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Huge.
Speaking of, doing my research and everything, usually I go through everyone we interview's old tweets, but you literally have
No!
31.
Please God
No, I
tell me
did.
that
I
you
did.
that.
No, I did. That's my number one thing when we
Okay.
first start interviewing someone.
That's
is,
literally so embarrassing.
I find there. Oh yeah, there was a bunch of pictures of you like posting emo lyrics from like 4th grade, but that there was literally 31,000, and
Yeah.
I physically like Twitter like wouldn't let me past like October 2019. So you got spared from that.
Yeah, I tweet a lot.
Yeah, you do, you
Um,
do tweet a lot.
What were your favorites? Give me the highlights.
Oh man, there was so many.
Twitter's
They were
all
all
read.
they were all inside jokes with like you and your high school friends, so it was kind of hard to like bring something up. But there were a lot of like fierce pictures, like heavily edited things from 2014. So
Yeah.
You were lying. You went on my Facebook, not my Twitter.
they
No, okay, no.
Reed,
okay.
Reed through your
Reed does
this
not
is-
have a Facebook.
through your
This is
Twitter.
all Twitter.
if you go to the media section,
No,
and
I
scroll
believe
all
you.
the way
I
down,
believe you. I'm just trying to
call
save
me a
myself.
liar.
No. Here's the thing. When I was in high school, back when I was your age, I Twitter was like very much an actual social platform rather than like you just like now I retweet mostly like sports stuff or stuff I find funny, but
Yeah, like
in
when
high
Bootleg
school,
Sports
like
announces the unit.
Yeah, and on your
yes,
Instagram, you post it
exactly.
on your
No,
story because you have a blue
I'll
check and
throw
are
y'all
followed by Ian Book.
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
I am following
Wait,
Ian
yeah.
Book,
Interesting
but
question. How was like when did Ian Book follow you?
Wait, the
You remember the
we
time and
did, like-
spot. You remember it. Don't lie.
I am not gonna tell you if I remember the time and spot because if he ever hears this, that will be mortifying.
She's like, I was on the window seat of Five Guys, 3 seats in. It was 7:00 p.m. and I got the follower.
I don't think Ian listens, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
recently because we were on like a Zoom call together for like an ND Day thing. It was definitely like beginning of COVID. So pretty recently.
Congrats.
Okay.
Anyway, back
Thank
to
you.
there's some of the
Thank you
older
very much.
ones.
I'm still mad that you went to my Twitter.
Yeah. Also,
What'd you say?
What are some of like? Do you have any like good ones you want to like skeletons you want to bring out of your own closet?
yeah, because we interviewed Matt and Pierce. Matt leaked they hit a burner.
Mhm.
Yeah, Matt Steves has a burner out there that he wouldn't tell us about.
Yeah, he won't tell us. I think he actually
Oh,
signed a
no
contract.
way.
He may have actually signed a contract.
He was very just like
Um,
very elusive about this.
I don't have I should get a burner Twitter for how much I use it for the
Should.
locals.
I kind of use like Twitter like a
but-
burner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I go back and forth a little bit. I definitely have gotten some calls from my media person saying, "Can you unretweet that?" or she likes to tell me, "So I can see everything that you like as well, not just what you retweet." And I was like, "That's crazy. I forgot about that." But besides that, I wouldn't say there's any specifics. I mean, I definitely have a Finsta, so
Okay.
if you find that, good luck.
You
But
don't
besides
challenge
that,
me to that.
no
Do not
burner.
challenge me to that.
Yeah, because when Matt told us that he had a burner, I spent 3 hours scrolling through Twitter and I sent Reed screenshots of everything.
Like we were like putting together a full FBI like profile.
I
with
have
it.
all
Did you
of them.
find it?
I
No.
don't know. I
Well,
don't.
we
know.
don't know.
I have a folder on my Apple Photos of just like evidence for this, and it's just like 10 screenshots.
See, this is why you need
narking.
like a girl.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, this is why you need a girl on your podcast because girls can find anything out and find
Oh,
anything.
I thought you were telling me that I need a girl. I was like, wait, that's offensive.
You do need a girl though. Yeah, if you want to join
No,
us,
I have
you're
no
welcome
comments
to
about your
join the
love
team.
Oh, I am very busy, but
I figured
I
being a
salute you
leprechaun's a
on
lot of
finding a
work.
girl. It's a good way.
Swing and a
This
miss.
is great practice for Eric having to find a girl.
Eric, yeah.
Eric has to find
Would
the-
you
your,
mind if Eric, like
the girl
Eric
that
practice
works with me.
flirting with you for a second?
No.
Well, we're not doing it.
No.
Needs to practice.
Well, this is why we're limiting
Sure, give me
Eric's
your best
questions.
line,
Eric,
Eric.
good pickup line. First go.
Yeah, what do you say?
I don't know.
Make something up. Fly. You just bump into someone. Boom. What do you say?
Hey, how you doing?
Wow, I'm
Nothing like
truly
red,
swooning.
violets, or
Yeah.
blue.
I don't know. Are you from Tennessee? Because you're only 10 I see.
Perfect.
What'd you say? What'd you say in response?
Unbelievable.
You left her speechless.
What would you say in response?
Yeah,
I
I
don't know,
would
I'm
be like,
curious.
well, I am speechless. If nothing else, I'm speechless.
Congrats,
Then-
Eric.
and then you get her phone number. Good job, Eric.
Boom.
Okay.
Done.
I'm
Good
gonna
job.
rein this back. I'm gonna rein it back in. One last actual question.
Isn't this a sports podcast?
We
Yeah.
we're kind of it's labeled as a sport. We win because you think we're gonna be like intelligent about sports and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that, and then it just goes off the rails immediately.
Like literally like that.
It's fine. I love it.
So we have a theory, we have a growing hypothesis that the longer your last name is, the taller you are as a person. We've tested it out on many guests before. So like Eric is like
Okay.
really short, and his last name is only 3 letters. Like I have an average length last name. I'm like average height. You know,
Yeah, me too.
height starts with a 6 though, so like that's all that matters. And
Sure it does.
like, how tall are you? It does. It does.
5'7".
I'm 5'11".
Okay, 5'7".
I'm 5'11"
You're-
3/4.
You're taller,
You're
than,
taller
Eric.
than
You're
Eric.
taller- you're taller than
Yeah,
Eric.
you're like a half inch taller than me.
Well, my
Oh.
friends all tell me I'm a liar and say I'm 5'6". So if that makes
Well, you
sense.
just
Okay.
called me a liar too.
We all
Yeah,
know
how does
that.
it
Well, I'm not lying. My doctor told me I was 5'7".
And my doctor told
I
me I was 6
slouch.
foot. Anyway,
I have
Well.
one last question. So
I had a question still too.
okay, then you have a last question.
Okay.
So we failed to ask this, but we ask every interviewee this.
Oh my God.
How much do you bench?
How did we forget about this?
Is it because I'm a woman?
No,
No.
no. It was not. It was not. I promise. No, we just,
I'm
like
totally
no. Just seriously, how much? If I assume you bench. Leprechauns have to be strong.
My max is like if I'm really
Please be
feeling
more-
it, like
please be more than
105.
Okay.
Close
About
to
what
Like
Eric.
Eric
100
says.
or 105.
Okay. Close to Eric.
That's just not. Shut up.
I have to bench the least out of anyone you talk to.
No, Tom Loy, he's a Notre Dame recruiter, does not lift.
Ever. He's
Not
like,
a
he's
CrossFit.
like
Yeah. So you
Oh.
I'm convinced he does CrossFit. He said he hates CrossFitters.
he's
But,
only a CrossFit.
oh yeah, he has.
But so yeah, you don't have the
He's
official
CrossFit
worst
vibes.
bench. So congratulations. You
Thank God. I won
know.
something.
so okay. Let's rein this on rein this in, end it on a
We
positive
did
note.
rein it in.
No. So like obviously, you're not the leprechaun stature. You don't fit the conventional leprechaun, and that's amazing for different representation and stuff like that. So do you have anything to say like to those who are dead set on like the short statured, like white Irish leprechaun?
I would say that Notre Dame is a lot more than that representation, and
Absolutely.
that it takes like one trip to campus to see that. Like, I mean, it's not IMND, it's not URND, it's we are ND, and
Yep.
that we encompasses everybody that goes here as well as all of our fans that don't even necessarily go here. So, I mean, that's what I have to say. I mean, I may not look like what the convention is, but I certainly represent a lot of the Notre Dame family.
That's a great answer.
Jordan shrugged on like
Yeah,
all the
no, she
haters.
did. That was
kind of
awesome.
tough.
That was awesome.
That was a perfect way to end the interview.
Thank
Yeah,
you. I'm
Lynnette,
built different. What can I say? Isn't that what
this
the
has
thing?
been
Built different.
awesome. We appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. We would love to have you back
Yeah.
on. You're a
Yeah.
friend of the program now, so you kind of sort
So
of
yeah,
have to come
by
on.
coming on the show, you actually sign a contract saying that you'll whenever we ask. So
Oh, I will do whatever you ask. That's crazy. See, now I know you don't talk to girls.
maybe. Okay.
Wow, what a
Cut the
banger.
cameras. Cut the cameras.
No, seriously though, Lynnette, this
was
This
awesome.
is probably my favorite interview we've done. Thank you
Yeah,
so much
this
for
was
coming
cool.
on.
This was
super
up there.
fun.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
take
Yeah,
care, Lynnette.
no, this
Yep.
is the most fun I've had in an interview. Thank
Yeah,
you.
book
We're
Boom.
clipping that.
Yes. Clickbait.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks,
Well,
Lynnette.
thank you
You have a
guys
great
so
one.
much.
Thanks, Lynette. See ya.
Yeah.
See you soon.